Hi Prep2, I wish your day is fine. Here we are together again with Aim High book, and we are still in Unit 1, which title is On Camera. Today we're gonna have the last session in Unit 1, and we will have a grammar lesson, but first we will start with the revision part, so let's start. Rewrite the following sentences using the words between brackets. By the way, remember to give us the same meaning. Number 1, he looks silly in his suit. It is loose and dull. So we need you to use as, and here you will use the word as with the meaning of because. So here we can find that the answer is: he looks silly in his suit as it looks loose and dull. Do you remember the word loose? Yeah, so that's the right answer. Loose means wide. Number 2, this toy is made in China. It's made of good kind of plastic. So we need you to use the word Chinese. So of course you will write the word Chinese instead of this expression and instead of made in China. So try to think, and that's the answer. This Chinese toy is made of a good kind of plastic. And here we can go to number 3. These socks are long. They have some patterns on the knees. And here you can use the word patterned. By the way, here patterns, this is like decorations or shapes. Patterns here is noun, and here we will use the word patterned as an adjective. So here we can say that these socks are long patterned. So here he's describing the socks with the word patterned, and this is an adjective. And here we finished the part of revision, and today we are ready to have a new lesson of grammar, and we will have the lesson of verb patterns. By the way, we have a lot of kinds of verbs. Today, we are gonna talk about 2 kinds of verbs. Verbs which are followed by infinitive, and verbs which are followed by ing. So here we have some verbs that must be followed by 2 plus verb stem, and another verbs that must be followed by ing. For example, Ahmed managed to finish the homework. Sally fancied going away for the weekend. So here the main verb is managed, and the main verb here is fancied. By the way, we can say that here the verb manage is one of the verbs that must be followed by 2 plus infinitive. And the verb fancy, which means like, must be followed by verb plus ing. So here we can say that we have some examples of verbs which are followed by infinitive or verb stem, and some examples of verbs which are followed by ing. We can say that some examples of verbs followed by infinitive: agree, decide, expect, fall, happen, hope, manage, mean, pretend, promise, refuse, seem, and want. So in your sentences, in your rewrite question, in your test or choose, you will be asked to answer if the verb decide or refuse or agree followed by 2 plus infinitive or ing. So in your choose question, you need to remember that the verb decide is followed by 2 plus infinitive. The verb refuse is one of the verbs that are followed by 2 plus infinitive. Okay, we know that there are too much verbs to keep. But by the way, you can keep them while practice. So when you answer a lot of questions, you will find yourself amazing in that part. You will find yourself that you keep a lot of verbs which are followed by infinitive or ing. And here are some examples of verbs that are followed by ing. We have the verb avoid, can't face, can't help, can't stand, enjoy, fancy, feel like, imagine, spend, and suggest. So all of these verbs are examples of verbs that are followed by ing. And here we can go to another examples of verbs that are followed by 2 plus infinitive. There are a lot of verbs. Try to keep as much as you can. So here we have these verbs that are followed by 2 plus infinitive. There are a lot of verbs, but you can keep them while practice. We have the verb choose, decide, demand, deserve, fail, hope, learn, manage, neglect, offer, plan, prepare, pretend, refuse, and many verbs. And here we have this slide of some verbs that are followed by ing. And here we can say that we have a special example here. This example is, I look forward to meeting you next week. Oh my God, can you feel something strange here? Can you find that here the main verb is look forward to? And there is a strange part of the sentence. How can we put ing after to? Yes, we said that in the expression look forward to, the word to is a preposition. And here we can say that they are followed by the ing verb rather than infinitive. So don't forget, if you want to talk about or use the verb look forward to, remember that this is a special case. Look forward to is one of the verbs that must be followed by ing, and this is a special case. And by the way, we have some verbs that maybe is followed by 2 plus infinitive, and the same verb in other cases we will find it followed by ing. Oh my God, this is a special case. We can talk about the verb stop. The verb stop is one of the verbs that sometimes you will find it followed by ing, and sometimes you will find it followed by 2 plus infinitive. And this is according to the meaning. I can say that I stopped walking to buy a cup of coffee. And another example, the teacher always asks us to stop talking. Oh my God, so we have here the verb stop. In the first example, it's followed by 2 plus infinitive, and according to the meaning, I stopped to buy a cup of coffee. In this example, we can talk about 2 actions. When you use the verb stop, and you mean that you stop the first action to do another action, so here we can say that stop is followed by 2 plus infinitive. So I stopped the first action, that is walking, to do another action to buy a cup of coffee. So here stop is followed by 2 plus infinitive. But after that, we can say that the verb stop in the second example, the teacher asks us to stop talking. So here we used the verb stop to stop the main action, which is talking. So here we said that stop is followed by ing, and this is a special case. And we can talk about the verb remember and the verb forget. Of course, we can use the verb forget and remember. Sometimes we will find it followed by ing, and sometimes we will find it followed by 2 plus infinitive. I can say that I didn't remember to call my friend. I didn't remember to call my friend. So here, that means that the action didn't happen. I didn't remember to call my friend. So that means that I didn't call him. So this is, remember here is followed by 2 plus infinitive. The action didn't happen. The action of calling the friend didn't happen. But I can say, I always remember visiting my grandma in Alexandria. So here, that means now I use the verb remember to remember an action that already happened before. So I already visited my grandma in Alexandria, and this is a happy action for me, so I always remember it. So here, that means that I use the verb remember, and which is followed by ing when the action is already happened. And here we can see a slide or a list of a lot of verbs which are followed by ing, and you can keep them while practicing. And here, let's go to practice some sentences on what we said. Rewrite the following sentences using the words between brackets, and don't forget, you need to give us the same meaning. Number 1, I didn't remember to send the letter. That means that the action of sending the letter didn't happen. Do you remember? So here, remember 2 plus infinitive means that the action of sending the letter didn't happen. So how can I use the word forgot? Of course, forgot is the opposite of remember, so I can say that the right answer is I forgot to send the letter. This is the right answer. Number 2, I can't help laughing when someone says a joke. I can't help laughing when someone says a joke. So how can you use the verb stop? The right answer is I can't stop laughing when someone says a joke. So can't help equal can't stop. And number 3, I don't want to go to the cinema today. Do you remember? We said the word feel like equal want or like. So here the right answer is I don't feel like going to the cinema today. When you want to remember, you can go to this slide or other slides. You can see here feel like is one of the verbs that are followed by ing. So here, the right answer is I don't feel like going to the cinema today. Number 4, I don't have money to buy this car. So what's this verb? Afford? Yeah. So this verb means to have the money or the enough money to pay the cost of something. So here I can say the right answer is I can't afford to buy this car. So the verb afford is followed by 2 plus infinitive. And the last sentence of rewrite, let's call the Italian restaurant. So here we need to use the verb suggest. So here the right answer is, try to remember, suggest is one of the verbs that are followed by 2 plus infinitive or ing. So here the right answer is I suggest calling the Italian restaurant. So here we finished the question of rewrite, but now we are ready to have the question of choose the right answer. And by the way, we will start answering the choose question, but try to remember, is this verb is followed by 2 plus infinitive or ing? Number 1, I enjoy space my homework at home every day. Try to remember, enjoy is one of the verbs which are followed by infinitive or ing. Of course, this is one of the verbs that are followed by ing. The right answer is doing. Number 2, they fancy, fancy equal want or like, they fancy space to another country for pleasure. So number 2, the right answer is they fancy going. Yes, great. Fancy is one of the verbs that are followed by ing. If you find yourself can't remember, that's okay, don't worry. This is too much verbs to be kept. So please don't worry if you find yourself can't answer alone. If you want to go again to the part of the verbs which are followed by 2 plus infinitive or ing, it's okay. You will keep them while practicing a lot of questions. Number 3, they managed to, and managed is one of the verb that is followed by 2 plus infinitive. Great, succeed. Number 4, I want space, new species of birds. So here want is one of the verbs which are followed by 2 plus infinitive. So the right answer is to find out. And number 5, they stopped space, cold drinks, then he went home. Try to remember the special case of the verb stop. Did they stop here to do another action or the same action? So they stopped, that means they stopped to do another action. They stopped to buy cold drinks. Great, and then they went home. Number 5, do you remember spaced pyramids last year? Ask yourself here, the verb remember, we used the verb remember to remember an action that already happened or not. So here that means that the action of visiting the pyramids happened last year. So this is an action that already happened. So here remember will be followed by ing. So number 7, I can't stand, space them, complain about the prices. So can't stand is one of the verbs which are followed by ing. Can't stand hearing. Yes, great. Number 8, I have decided, space, something different. So decided is one of the verbs which are followed by, yes, your right is answer, 2 plus infinitive. So number 8, to try. Number 9, my twin always spends a lot of time. So the main verb here is spend. So spend is one of the verbs which are followed by ing. Yes, great, doing. Number 10, I don't know how my mother pays to look after 6 children and go out to work. So he wants to say how my mother be able to do this action. So the verb manages means to be able to do something. Number 11, Olivia is so embarrassed about her new haircut that she can face, so this is a main verb, can face, space the house. So can face is one of the verbs that are followed by ing. Great, leaving. Number 12, she refuses pays her brother any more money until he pays her back. So the main verb here is refuse. So can you remember refuse is one of the verbs which are followed by infinitive or ing? Yes. Number 12, she refuses to lend. Yes, great. Refuse is one of the verbs which are followed by 2 plus infinitive. Number 13, and the last question. The doctor suggests space too much coffee if you want to sleep better. So the verb here, the main verb here is suggests. So you want to ask yourself, the verb suggest is one of the verbs which are followed by ing or 2 plus infinitive. Of course, suggest is one of the verbs which are followed by ing. So we can say that the right answer is The doctor suggests not drinking too much coffee if you want to sleep better. So at this point we can say that we finished the exercises for the verbs pattern. We talked about some verbs which are followed by 2 plus infinitive and some verbs which are followed by ing. By the way, I want to remind you that it's not too easy to remember all of these verbs, but of course, I promise you, if you answer a lot of questions, you will find yourself remember many and many verbs. So here we can say that if you answer a lot of questions, you can remember them well. At this point, we can say that we finished the last session of this unit, and we can say that I wish everything is clear for you. Next time, wait for me, and of course, I'm waiting for you.